It started on a gray Saturday morning in a small California town, the kind of morning where the clouds hang low, and even the birds sound like they're whispering. A little girl stood outside a dusty pawn shop, hugging an old guitar case tighter than a teddy bear. Her name was Emma. She was 9 years old. And that guitar once belonged to her father, a man whose laughter used to fill their tiny house, whose voice once sang her to sleep. But now, he was gone. And she was there to sell the last piece of him she had left, for $100. She didn't know that her decision that morning would soon reach the ears of one of the most famous rock legends alive, Ozzy Osbourne himself, and that what he would do next would not only change her life, but also remind millions around the world what real kindness looks like. Emma had never been to a pawn shop before. The glass door creaked as she pushed it open, the smell of metal and old wood filling her nose. The man behind the counter looked up, surprised to see such a small child carrying such a large case. "You lost, kid?" he asked, his voice rough but not unkind. Emma shook her head and placed the guitar case on the counter. I want to sell this," she whispered. The man unlatched the case. Inside was a worn but beautiful Fender Stratocaster. Its body had scratches, its strings dull, but the initials, JD, carved into the side gave it character. "Where'd you get this?" the man asked softly. "It was my dad's," she said. "He died 3 months ago. My mom says we need money for the rent, and I thought maybe someone could buy it." Her small hands trembled as she wiped her eyes quickly. The man exhaled slowly. He could have bought it then and there, maybe even for a low price, but something about her eyes stopped him. "This guitar's special," he said. "You sure about this?" Emma nodded, her lips quivering. "He used to play it every night. But I guess we need money more than memories." The man didn't know what to say. He reached under the counter for a cloth and carefully wiped the dust from the strings. "Tell you what," he said, "leave it here for a day. I'll see what I can do. Maybe find someone who'll give you a fair deal." That night, when Emma's story was posted on social media by a local musician who'd overheard the conversation, something incredible began to happen. Thousands of people shared her story, touched by the thought of a little girl trying to sell her father's guitar just to help her mother survive. One of those people was Ozzy Osbourne. When Sharon Osbourne showed Ozzy the post the next morning, he was sitting at the kitchen table, sipping tea, wearing his usual round glasses and black robe. He stared at the picture of the little girl and the old guitar for a long time. 9 years old, he muttered. Selling her dad's guitar to help her mom. Sharon nodded. "It's heartbreaking, isn't it?" Ozzy set down his cup and said, "Get me the shop's number." By the time Emma returned to the pawn shop the next day, something strange was going on. A few reporters stood outside. The shopkeeper was on the phone, grinning from ear to ear. "Emma," he said, waving her over. "You won't believe this, kiddo. Someone special wants to talk to you." He handed her the phone. A deep, raspy British voice came through. "Hello, sweetheart. This is Ozzy. Ozzy Osbourne." Emma froze. She'd heard her dad play Black Sabbath songs before. He used to call Ozzy, the Prince of Metal. Are you really Ozzy Osbourne?" she stammered. "That's what they tell me," he chuckled. "I heard about your dad's guitar, love. And I just want you to know, you don't have to sell it." Tears filled her eyes. "But we need the money," she said softly. "I understand," Ozzy replied gently. "So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll send you and your mum some help. You keep that guitar, okay? It's a piece of your dad. You hold onto it and learn to play it. Promise me that." Emma couldn't speak. She just nodded, even though he couldn't see her. Later that day, Ozzy's team sent a check for $25,000 to Emma's mother, with a handwritten note from Ozzy himself. Greater than, "Some guitars aren't meant to be sold. They're meant to keep hearts beating. Rock on, kid. Ozzy." Weeks passed. Emma started learning to play her father's songs. Every chord hurt at first, it reminded her of him, but then it started to feel like he was right there beside her, guiding her fingers. Her mom found a better job, the bills were paid, and their tiny house began to fill with laughter again. One afternoon, Emma sat outside with the guitar, strumming under the golden light of sunset, when her mom came out holding her phone. "Someone wants to talk to you again," she said with a smile. It was Ozzy. He asked her how her lessons were going. She told him she'd learned, "Crazy Train." Ozzy laughed. You're gonna be a star, kiddo. One day, you'll play that guitar on a big stage, and when you do, just remember, your dad's right there, smiling. Emma smiled, clutching the guitar. Thank you, Mr. Osbourne, for everything. He paused for a moment before saying softly, no, love, thank you. You reminded an old rocker what really matters. Years later, a teenage girl walked onto a brightly lit stage, guitar in hand. The crowd roared. She closed her eyes, strummed the first chord, and for a split second, saw her dad smile in the glow of the lights. On the back of her guitar were still the initials, JD, and below them, in fresh ink, another, OO. Because some gifts don't fade with time, they echo forever.